Ever wondered why some entrepreneurs seem to effortlessly achieve their goals while others struggle to make progress? Friends, I believe it all comes down to mindset. So, in today's episode, we are going to be diving into the art of spring cleaning your mindset. Just like we tidy up our homes when spring arrives, we declutter our closets, we kind of get that bug, right? For just getting a clean and fresh slate as we move into a new season. It's essential to declutter your mind as a mompreneur as well. So grab your favorite beverage, pop in those earbuds, grab that load of laundry if that's what you're doing, and let's settle in and let's explore how to refresh and revitalize our mindsets for success. Welcome to the Mompreneur Life Remix podcast, where you will learn how to remix your mompreneur life so that you can win at work without losing yourself in the process. Hi, my name is Martine Williams, and I am your host and CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. And this podcast is your one-stop shop to creating a burnout-proof life and business and elevating your clarity, confidence, and courage. Friends, it's time to say goodbye to being the yes girl and hello to creating healthy boundaries, healthy mindsets, and healthy habits. Your next breakthrough starts here. This is the Mompreneur Life Remix podcast. Let's do this. So before we dive in today, I wanted to share with you something super exciting that's coming up on May 8th. So I am hosting a free virtual workshop that is called Summer Ready Success. And this is all about turning up the heat and unlocking your summer success and helping you to get a plan in place now for summer. Now is the time for you to be preparing for kids are going to be home, priorities are going to shift, schedules are going to change, but that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your business success or sacrifice your own goals for personal development because we are moving into this season. So I invite you to go to martinewilliams.com/summer and get registered for this free event. Cannot wait to see you at that. All right, so let's dive in now into this idea of spring cleaning. And I think the first thing that we have to talk about is understanding why mindset is so crucial for mompreneurs. Like we talk about mindset. I know you hear about mindset all the time. I talk about it a lot here on the podcast, but I wanted to just remind you that our behaviors are born in our mindset. And a lot of times what we do is we try to correct the behavior, change the habit, and, use willpower to grit and grind our way into achieving our goals or achieving success without giving the proper attention to your mindset. Because your thoughts and your beliefs, my thoughts and my beliefs shape my actions, period. And they ultimately influence my success, your success in business and in life. So it starts with our mindset. It starts with how are you thinking and what are you believing about yourself, about your success, about your goals, about what your summer success can look like. I just talked about the workshop that I'm going to be hosting, and you have to decide and choose what is your mindset going to be about this season that you're getting ready to come into. And that's going to determine the actions that you take, because if you just try to change your behavior without changing your thoughts and beliefs around it, it is going to feel like an uphill battle because your body is wanting to do one thing, but your brain is telling you something else. So just some quick things for you to think about on how to get your mindset right. Number one is your daily affirmations. Like, how can you start each day with a positive affirmation to set the tone for success? How can you affirm yourself daily? You've heard me say on the podcast many times, but I fiercely protect my mindset, what I'm putting into my mindset, how I'm affirming myself. I'm not waiting on affirmation from others. If I get it from my husband, great. If I get that from clients and social media or wherever, like those things are beautiful, like extra little gifts, but we have to learn the practice of self-affirmation and not waiting on other people to do that for us. So how can you affirm yourself daily? Do you need to write out? And I would recommend writing out what are maybe 5 to 10 affirmations that you could write out to speak to the goals that you have and affirm yourself in those goals and revisit those every single day, starting out with I am, right? Like I am worthy. I am learning how to grow my business this summer. I am confident. Like these things help to produce more productive thoughts than maybe some of the ones that you've been having. The second thing for your mindset is gratitude practice. Like how can you cultivate a mindset of gratitude by keeping a daily gratitude journal or practicing gratitude meditation? I mean, there's lots of different ways. I know some people have just a journal that's all about gratitude, but it's really hard to be in a mindset of complaining and worry and all of those things when you're actually in a mindset of gratitude. And I don't think we take this serious enough. So every day in my journal, that's the very top part of the journal is what am I thankful for? And sometimes it's like deep things. And sometimes it's the simplicity of, that the sunshine is out and the weather's getting warmer. But that just sets the tone for your mindset to think in a positive way, to be looking at all the things that you have, all the things that maybe you've accomplished, all the things that have happened to this point versus the things that you haven't accomplished yet, right? Like how many times do you wake up in the morning and you come to your desk or you grab that first cup of coffee and you're thinking about all the things you didn't do the day before. Like that is not setting yourself up for success for that day. We can't do anything about what happened yesterday, but we can have an impact on what we're going to do today. So by having the daily affirmations and having your gratitude practice is going to help you to kind of spring clean out some of that clutter of old thoughts maybe that you've had moving into this season. The second point that I'm going to talk about is the self-limiting beliefs. Like let's tackle those things head on. And the only way to do that is to be aware. Be aware of it. Many of us struggle with doubts and fears that hold us back from reaching our full potential. I can't tell you how many times I have found myself in that situation. And it does take the slowdown to identify what are your common self-limiting beliefs? What are the thoughts that are on repeat that are not serving you? And then figuring out ways to overcome them. So I want to give you some actionable tips for this as far as thought reframing. And that's what it is. You have to challenge your negative thoughts by asking yourself, is this belief serving me? That takes intentionality, right? That takes what I like to call my triple C method of catching it, like catch the thought, checking it. Is this belief serving me? If it's not serving you, change it. I do this literally multiple times throughout the week, especially if I'm noticing that I'm procrastinating on some things, I'm putting off some things, I'm not taking as much action as I would like to. I am training my brain and learning to do this work of thought reframing and thinking about what I'm thinking about and not pushing it aside and not saying, well, I shouldn't think that, or I should think this. You know what I've said about shoulding is shaming, but actually just getting really honest about what you're saying to yourself. Catch it, check it, change it. And then you can visualize yourself actually overcoming these obstacles, actually visualize yourself achieving the goals that you want to build, to help you build the confidence, to help you build the self-belief, like just sitting in it for a minute and imagining what success you could have this summer. Imagine what success you could have, even though schedules are going to change, priorities are going to shift, all of those things. You have to check your self-limiting beliefs, and that's what they are. They're self-limiting. They're limiting you from taking the action that you want to take. And you might be able to grit and grind through it for a short season and have that willpower and just like bulldoze through, but eventually that's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. And so you have to come from this place of, what are you believing about the situation? What are the thoughts that you're telling yourself? Because your behaviors are born in your mindset. And that is why spring cleaning, resetting your mindset, all of these things are important to do consistently. This is not like a one-time thing. Like if you only spring cleaned your house one spring, then your house would get pretty cluttered, right? Same thing with your brain, same thing with your mindsets. I'm calling this spring cleaning because that's the season that we're in, but I also want you to think about how can this could become a regular practice for you to tackle those self-limiting beliefs head on, like catch them right when they come in and challenge them and then change them. So another thing to help you with mindset that I think is probably one of my strongest characteristics or strongest things about my mindset, other than the fact that I do protect it very fiercely on what I allow into my mindset, is this idea of being resilient and being adaptable. So we know, and entrepreneurship is full of ups and downs, and we are no strangers to challenges, right? I always say we're a very special breed. Entrepreneurs are, because we have so many ups and downs and challenges that come up, and it's important to choose, and I say choose to be resilient, choose to be adaptable in navigating those highs and lows of your entrepreneurial journey. It is a choice. It's a choice to be resilient. It's a choice to be adaptable. It's a choice to continue to build that resilient muscle. I like to say, they say resiliency is bouncing back from a setback. I like to look at it as growing through the setback. Like, it's like growing pains. Like, how are you going to grow through these setbacks? How are you going to embrace change with confidence and grace? And look, most of us don't like change. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called Immunity to Change. And I'm going to talk more about that in a different episode, but we don't love change, right? Most of us don't like change, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you don't change the mindset that you have right now, if it's not producing the results that you want, if you don't change the behaviors and the actions to get the results that you want, then nothing changes. You're going to be in the same place in 3 months from now. And I know that's not what you want. I know that you're listening and that you have so much going on in your head, so many things swirling around, so much so that maybe it's really stopping you from taking action because you have all these ideas, you have all of these self-limiting beliefs. We have so much swirling around in your head that then you just don't take any action. And so that's also part of this spring cleaning process, is clearing the clutter up there and realizing that we can choose to be resilient. If you're in a hard season right now, I get it. I understand. It's hard, right? But this is going to grow you. This is going to help you to build that resilience, to flex that confidence muscle. Because if you can choose to have resiliency and you can choose to have that growth mindset, and there's a book called Mindset by, I think it's Carol Dweck, and she talks about growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. A growth mindset embraces failures as learning opportunities, and they celebrate progress, no matter how small. So if you're in a challenging season right now and you feel like it's never going to change, that, you're not making any progress, you're probably falling into that fixed mindset. And it's a choice to embrace the failure. It's a choice to see that you're either getting the result you want or the lesson you need. That is a firm belief that I hold that does serve me well. When we talked about self-limiting beliefs, or your thoughts produce your actions, that is a thought that I choose to think, and I really do believe that. And so when challenges do come my way, I'm able to be resilient. I'm able to be adaptable because I understand that this is a challenge, but I can learn something through this. There's a lesson for me in this. If I didn't get the result that I wanted, what can I do different next time? Versus I'm a failure, or I'm never going to be able to grow my business, or that relationship is always going to be that way. So how can you embrace more of a growth mindset and just be open to that, open to seeing that the obstacle could be the way? That's another book. I'm open to see the opportunity in the obstacle, right? You've heard me say there, in every opportunity, there's an obstacle. In every obstacle, there is an opportunity. It's the same thing. You can choose to see there's a lesson there. You can choose to cultivate being resilient and adaptable. And here's the thing I know 100% for sure is that things will continue to change in entrepreneurship. The way your customers buy, the way your customers communicate. I mean, I think back to when I first started my entrepreneur journey, and we didn't have social media. And I will say it was a little bit more simple, right? I was able to just get in front of people and connect, build relationships with them face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and then, make offers to help them with the solutions that I had, in my direct selling business. And now we have social media, and that complicates it a little bit, right? But if you choose to not adapt, and pivot into some of these other things, like even the AI that's going on. Like there's people that are totally against using AI and against all of that. And there are other people that are fully embracing it. And I'm somewhere in the middle, right? Like I see them all as tools to help me grow my business, to help me get my message out there, to help me impact those that I feel called to impact. But you have to have that growth mindset. And so as you're thinking about spring cleaning, check that. Have you defaulted into a fixed mindset? And we've all been there before. So there's no shame there, but it's again, identifying, just like you go into your closet when you're doing a spring cleaning and you're identifying, what did I wear? What didn't I wear? What's going to stay? What's going to go? A fixed mindset has to go. It just has to go. The next thing I want to talk about is another point here with spring cleaning is really getting clear on setting your intentions and your goals. So as you're spring cleaning, again, I like to think of the closet and you're going in there, like you're going to be setting some intentions around what you're going to wear, right? And what you're not going to wear, what your goals are for maybe your wardrobe, like what shoes, what things you're going to put together, like what are you going to intentionally put together? So spring is the perfect time to set those intentions and goals for those months ahead, especially with summer coming around the corner. And that's why I am doing this free workshop for mompreneurs to help you get summer ready. Like summer ready success. I know you want to be successful this summer, and now is the time to do that. So whether you want to grow your business, nurture your families, or find harmony in your life, setting clear intentions can help you stay focused and help you to stay motivated. So get intentional about your goals and aspirations, and just some practical tips to help in this area would be, y'all, this is not the first time y'all heard this, but it's like so simple but true. You have to have those SMART goals for today, like for the season you're getting ready to go into. What you just went through the last quarter, it may be very different than what you're getting ready to go to in the summer. So what are some specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals to help you create that clarity and that focus of mind? What do you need to do there? How can you make those goals more visible? This could be a vision board. This could be a Pinterest board. This could be, just collecting some photos off your phone and putting them in a Google Doc, just some visual representation of your goals and dreams to keep you motivated, inspired, especially again, this summer when things are going to change and there's going to be a little twist added in there in your schedule. It's helpful for you to see, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is the goal for the end of the summer. And that could be different for every single one of you if we were having a one-on-one conversation, but it has to be your goal. It has to be your intentions. It has to be what is priority for you. And this is where I see a lot of us get cluttered in our brains is we see what everyone else is doing and we're trying to take hold of what they're doing versus slowing down, using our own brain, using our own priorities, using our own season of life to craft these intentions, to craft these goals. So I highly encourage you to do that and then have some type of visual representation of that goal. And there's lots of things you can do for that. Finally, I want to wrap up our spring cleaning journey by focusing on self-care and mindfulness. Y'all know I've been talking about this for a really long time, the importance of, especially for mompreneurs, self-care. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, to neglect our own well-being, neglecting our own health, putting ourselves on the back burner, waiting for that one day. Like all of these things are things you all have said to me and that you struggle with. And taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's actually, I believe it's more selfish not to, because how can you expect yourself to show up well with a clean mindset, with a healthy mindset for yourself and your business if you're not taking care of yourself? How can you expect yourself to show up and serve your family and serve your customers and serve your business in a way that is healthy if you're not healthy, right? If you're not taking the time to take care of yourself. And it's crucial for maintaining balance, reducing your stress, cultivating your inner peace. Some of you, it might be a self-care practice, could be meditation. Some of you, it could be yoga, it could be exercising. You have to define for yourself What does your self-care practice look like? And here's the thing, don't have the all or nothing mentality here. Be realistic. Going back to our SMART goals, be realistic about what you can do in this season. If you have 10 minutes to do some meditation, 10 minutes to do some stretching, 10 minutes to go outside and take a walk, 10 minutes to go sit out in the sun, 10 minutes to listen to a podcast, 10 minutes to get a cat nap, whatever it is, do it. Don't let yourself fall into the all or nothing mentality of, well, if I don't have an hour to work out or an hour to go hang out with a friend or whatever it is, don't allow your brain to go in that place. What can you do? That's a thought. That's actually a thought that a client of mine has really been holding on to, who found herself in the situation of all or nothing mentality, is I can do something today to move forward. She doesn't say I can do it all today. I can do something today to move forward. So maybe that's an affirmation for yourself. I am able to do something today. Put your brain in the positive forward direction immediately when you say that versus I can't do this, or what if I can't do that, or I don't have time for that. All of these thoughts produce your results. I'm telling you, the more you catch this and you understand this and you start really investigating these thoughts and your mindset and doing this process of spring cleaning it consistently, you are going to be so blown away by your results. It's not enough just to hustle your way through it and try to change your behavior. It's only going to last for a very short time if you're doing that. You have to start with your mindset. So self-care is non-negotiable. It really is. How are you going to nurture your mind? How are you going to nurture your body? How are you going to nurture your spirit? What priorities, how can you prioritize self-care? How can you set some boundaries around this time for yourself? So it's the small acts of self-care in your daily routine. This could be, again, I told you, going for a walk, taking a bubble bath. There's lots of different things, but it has to be scheduled in, especially if you have not been doing this. It has to be scheduled in. So as we wrap up today's episode, I really just want to encourage you to take some time to reflect on your own mindset. How can you spring clean it for success? I just gave you 5 different points to think about. And I want you to remember that mindset is where your behaviors are born. And by decluttering your mind and embracing a positive and growth-oriented outlook, you can unlock your full potential as a mompreneur. And if you enjoyed this episode, if you found this episode helpful, please be sure to follow this show. Feel free to share that. Like, just take 30 seconds and share this show with someone who you know needs to hear this information as well, that it would be helpful for them. And don't forget, I have the Summer Ready Success Workshop coming up May 8th at 12 p.m. Go to martinewilliams.com/summer, and we will put that link in the show notes for you. And I hope to see you on that workshop. If not, I will catch you on the next episode. Well, that's a wrap, friends. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I really hope it met you right where you are and gave you some encouragement for your day. Could you do me the biggest favor and leave me a rating and review? Seriously, it's the best way for you to support the show. And while you're there, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Thanks again. And until next time, I am believing in you always.